I am Edward IV, King of England, and I invite you to walk with me through the tempestuous years of 1470 and 1471, a period when my throne was seized, my enemies thrived, and my resilience was tested to its utmost limits. The year 1470 began with mounting tensions. My cousin and once loyal ally, Richard Neville, the Earl of Warwick, known to all as the Kingmaker, had turned against me. He resented the influence of my wife, Elizabeth Woodville, and her family at court. His betrayal cut deep, for it was he who had secured my ascent to the throne. Yet now his ambition blinded him, and he joined forces with my treacherous brother George, Duke of Clarence. In the autumn of that year, my reign crumbled. Warwick and Clarence allied with Margaret of Anjou, the indomitable queen of the deposed Henry VI. Together, they raised an army, forcing me to flee England. With my closest allies, including my loyal brother Richard, Duke of Gloucester, I escaped to the Low Countries. The bitter taste of exile was my daily bread, but I refused to despair. I knew my crown was not lost, not yet. Fortune turned in early 1471. With the support of Charles the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, my brother-in-law through marriage to my sister Margaret, I gathered ships, men, and resources. In March, I landed at Ravenspur in Yorkshire, under the guise of seeking my Duchy of York. My march southward was fraught with peril. Many towns remained wary, hesitant to declare their allegiance, but my resolve did not falter. Slowly support grew, and my army swelled. By the time I reached London, the tides of fate had shifted. The city opened its gates to me, and Henry VI, the feeble puppet restored by Warwick, was once again imprisoned in the Tower. Yet the struggle was far from over. Warwick mustered his forces, and met me at Barnet on April 14, 1471. The battle was fierce, shrouded in fog that turned friend against friend. It was chaos, yet Providence smiled upon me. Warwick fell, his ambitions dashed forever. But even as I claimed victory, news reached me that Margaret of Anjou had landed in England with her son, Edward of Westminster, to challenge me anew. Without delay, I marched to meet them. On May 4, 1471, our armies clashed at Tewkesbury. It was a decisive and bloody engagement. My forces triumphed, and the young Edward of Westminster was slain. Margaret was captured, and with her, the hopes of the Lancastrian cause were extinguished. In the aftermath, I returned to London, where Henry VI, a symbol of endless civil strife, met his end in the Tower. Some called it divine justice, others whispered darker theories. Regardless, the crown was firmly back upon my head, and England's future was mine to shape. Those turbulent months from exile to triumph defined my kingship. They taught me that betrayal, loss, and hardship are but the proving grounds of kings. I emerged not just as Edward, a man, but as Edward, the sovereign whose will was unbroken, whose throne was reclaimed. England was mine once more, and I vowed that never again would it slip from my grasp.